What is going on, Sports Game Vision world? You are now tuned into the sounds of the No Face Sports Show. I am your host, Hank, at Sports Game Vision. Not going to hold you long. Today, Friday, hoping you're having a great day. Pretty much the end of the week. Obviously, still a lot of sports to go on. And I'm just going to tap in and talk about, I don't know if you've seen my picture, my graph about the subject matter of this small show today at the No Face Sports Show. But we got the firing in Michigan, the University of Michigan, Sherrone Moore, and the craziness that's going on around it. And then, of course, my guy, John Cena, hanging it up. The last time is now. Hustle, loyalty, respect. You can't see me. WWE. Yeah, he was never WWF. I had to think about that. He never was WWF. Always WWE company. The face. If a company man is a company man, he's the face of it. Greatness. They've even gave him the greatest of all time tag because of what he's done for the company. But either way, you see what we got going on here. Again, we've got a lot going on this weekend with the last match, Saturday night's main event. Got a lot of college basketball games, NFL games, NBA. Still, they're going to take off. They're going to play tonight, and of course, SmackDown is on tonight, and Collision is on tomorrow. And I might be missing something, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm a young man. I'm a young man. But let's jump right into it. Really, I jumped in here just to want to talk about this man right here. What's going on in Michigan? It's crazy. Very very shocking situation out of the blue. As we all know, he is the first black head coach at the University of Michigan. A very proud feat to achieve, and now it's all gone. Seems like scandal after scandal was happening at Michigan. We know what happened with Jim Harbaugh before he left and went on to his NFL coaching status again. That's where he really wanted to go in the first place. Of course, being able to come back to his alma mater and help them rebuild and get a national championship. Obviously, probably checks off a notch on the bucket list. And but again, another scandal, another person going down for the count for impropriety, ill behavior, and it's a mistake. It was wrong what he did, having those affairs as reported. Obviously, we feel like the one for the young lady, and I don't even know her name, but you can look it up online. I'm sure you can pull it up. I've seen her face a million times broadcast over the screen. But that relationship obviously happened, and there's more reports about he had other relationships while he was there on the coaching staff that were inappropriate, and he was, out here trying to get IG models and things of that nature. And it cost him a job, a very respected job that anybody would love to have, not just a black coach, but any coach at Michigan, even though they're not one of my favorite schools of all time. If anyone's a fan of this show here, of this platform, Sports Game Vision, make sure you definitely like, share, subscribe, and join. I'm from the state of Michigan. I'm a Michigan State guy, but Michigan is Michigan. They are historic, they are prestigious, and especially in the football program with all the championships and the Big Ten championships and the rivalries and the historic, games and memories they've had over the years, the programming that they had for the whole entire country. People are from around the world are Michigan fans because they were one of the programs that were always on television throughout the decades. So, that's why they always try to push them. But to have a job like that and then squander it over some woman and then you already married is ridiculous. And the behavior that he exhibited was crazy. So he ended him in jail. Ended up in jail right now. He's uh, looking to get out on bond right now. But stalking that woman over a breakup, getting upset, saying that she ruined his life. Well, honestly, sir, you did that to yourself. And again, you don't want to cast stones because we're all not perfect, but wrong is wrong. And when you make mistakes, you gotta own it. Myself included, everybody else is just a crazy situation that's going to hold the program back. And obviously, he would have been okay. I mean, he had a 9-3 season, even though he lost to Ohio State this year, but he won last year. His overall record was a winning program, and he was on the staff of the national championship team. So it would have he would have been there for a while, and he was going to make something crazy like $12 million a year, something of that nature. He would have been around for a while. He squandered it over just not sticking to morals and values, and he already was again had a family. Just stick to the family, stick to the program, stick to football, and building these young men up to get to the next level of their lives. And all this would have been avoided, besides maybe someone being crazy and accusing you of something that you didn't do. But when you actually did it, it's gonna, obviously take you down. And now he may never be able to get back to this level of coaching again. With the who's going to want to take a chance on him? There's no big program that's going to want to do that. And obviously, even if like a hardball, somebody came back down to the ranks and they loved him because obviously he's probably obviously he's a good coach. But they're not going to put their reputation on the line and drama on their program for you. Maybe he can get into the pro ranks, something like that. You know how over time things you can kind of hide things. I don't think collegiately no more. Maybe pro he can get somewhere on a staff, but yeah, I mean, big time program, big payday, and it's all over with. And there's a big debates over about him. Obviously, he's a black man, and me myself being black, proud to see that he was able to get the job. But it's not even about culture, the color or the ethnicity, nationality. It's about just making a mistake and ruining something that was very special. And again, not even a Michigan fan, but it's very crazy that then this happened. And I don't know what you guys think about it. You let me know in the comment section. But to be able to stay at that program with the money and the financials behind you to possibly go after another championship and just stay there for a long time, because he's not that old. So he'd have been there for a while. And I believe he would have had some, go from 8-5 to 9-3. You were on your way up, as Fat Joe would say, on the way up. And, you know, just bad choices. We all gotta do the right things and make the right decisions when we get positions of power and prestige, big time opportunities, no matter again, race, ethnicity, gender, whatever. You have to, do the right things and take the opportunities that are handed to you. And again, just go for the win. That's all you got to do is go for the win. But that's all I'm going to talk about. This Sherrone Moore situation. More is going to come out. More is developing. Again, he's on looking to get out on bond from the courts after his going to the young lady's home, bringing weaponry or and threatening to harm himself and her after she broke up with him. And I think she was left. She was part of the staff. I think she was let go as well. But again, like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I am going to talk about the other subject matter at hand, and that is our guy, John Cena. And he is going to retire. He's been on a lot of podcasts this past week, and he's doing the press run. Obviously, he's a Hollywood star now and might even get bigger over time. He's with Peacemaker and doing a whole lot of roles. Every time I pop on Hulu or something, I see his face on some random movie that I didn't even know he made. But he's been in the game for over 20 years. I remember when he came in his first match against Kurt Angle, big buff guy coming out the back. Like, who is this guy? And he almost beat Kurt that night. And from that point on, obviously he had a little rough patch, and then he became Thugonomics basically when he started his rapping, because Stephanie McMahon heard him in the back of the bus, but he was about to get fired, and it saved his job. But it's the historic run he's been on after that. He changed his look to hustle, loyalty, respect after the Thugonomics stuff. And, he's saying this is it, guys. As we can see here, he got to get to the WWE Championship this past year, breaking the record held by Ric Flair. He's got number 17. He also became a Grand Slam champion, winning the Intercontinental Championship off of Dominic Mysterio. And what is it? He's the world champion, excuse me, tag team champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion. And we all know that he did the open challenges all the time. But he's saying he's not going to do it anymore. And a lot of wrestlers that we know retired. Just think about rappers. How many rappers you would always say they retired and come right back? I'm sure other musicians do the same thing. Actors do it too. That paycheck calls. And from what we know about John Cena and the interviews that we've heard from him, financially, he seems like he's good. So it wouldn't be about the money. Obviously, more money is better. Right now, I think it's all about what he wants to do in his career to expand it in a new stage in life that he's in. And obviously, over those years of wrestling, I'm sure there's injuries and things of that nature that he's occurred. He's even talked about just lifting all those weights to kind of put a toll on him. So he's not looking forward to doing some of the same, lifting um, procedures or, strategies that he used to do. He's going to kind of tone it down in some ways, obviously still stay in shape. But yeah, he's just toning down. He wants to leave out on top, sort of like we all pictured Jordan when he left the Bulls, almost like Tom Brady did with when he won that championship with Tampa Bay. Leave out on top. John, not John Elway, Tom Brady. Now John Elway left out on top, winning those back-to-back championships in Denver, and pretty much still at a high peak level of play. That's what John Cena wants to do here. Saturday night's main event is tomorrow night. Peacock, right? Yeah, Peacock. And Jesse Ventura, I heard, is coming back to help on the booth. And there's rumors that John Cena will not main event the show. He will possibly start the show facing Gunther. Personally, obviously, I know it's giving back to the business. I would like to see him win his farewell, match, sort of like Sting. I thought that was a great thing that Tony did. You don't always have to lose on a farewell match, but John Cena obviously wants to get back. He's been very giving in this tour too. He what he did for Brock, for um, he put over Cody, he put over Dominic, even though he's won the championship from Dominic, put him over again. Dominic's going to be able to say he beat John Cena. If Gunther wins, he'll be able to say he's a legend killer, like kind of like Randy Orton. But at the same token, let him go out on top. And, he's had a great career. He's been very valuable to the WWE in every aspect of it, from promoting the business, being a fighting champion, being a champion that can go out and promote, being a champion that can go out and do all the sponsorship and mentorships, all the, volunteer things that they needed from him. John Cena did a great job. And even if you don't necessarily think he's the greatest of all time, because I know that's a debate, for WWE, he's absolutely right up there. It's hard to say he's not. He's a guy that they must be. What is it that they made? Yeah, I mean, even with Undertaker, I think John Cena and him are head to head, and John Cena probably got him, in my opinion, because of how popular he was, and even throughout all the turmoil with the fans getting tired of him, he still held the company on his back for a long time, because there were some stages in between where there wasn't a lot of superstars that could sell a box office. You could put on a face of that DVD or that poster or that, screenshot for your social media, and people would be interested. He's one of them, especially a guy starting to get older and leave or retire, or other wrestlers may have not been able to get over, so to speak, into the stardom that the company wanted. John Cena was always the staple, and they could always depend on him. So he will be very, very missed. I thought overall, if you listen to some of these interviews, he said that a lot of this stuff was planned out, and there's a few things that were kind of sporadic. But again, short run, wish you had a little bit more. But at the same token, if they'd added more dates to his last year, he could have gotten injured. And he talked about that with the insurances. He had to pay out of pocket for that. So too many dates. I think maybe just what he had 30 something. Maybe they could have got to 50 ish, mid 50s. I think that would have made things stronger. But either way, we get to say he gets to say goodbye. He's been through what? Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and he's been a few uh Saturday night's main events. He's, if you think about it, a lot of his friends have come back in this run beyond people that they could not get contractually because of them being in AEW or somewhere else. But you got to see them show respect, like Edge over there or Cope, doing his five knuckle shuffle in the match, and his signature move. So yeah, man. Obviously, looking forward to see what's next for him. And as he says, people are probably gonna forget about him anyway. And I don't think that's necessarily true, but people do move on. That's life. That applies to all of us. We lose a job, we unfortunate demise. People keep moving, but they're not going to forget John Cena, and hopefully he does come back. He's had some type of new deal where it's almost like a Legends deal, so to speak. So he'll still embody and endorse the company, but he won't wrestle again unless something crazy like that Saudi money. Never say never, John. They throw you 200 million or something crazy for one match. Your butt's coming out of retirement. You better take that money. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for the show today. No Face Sports Show. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. This is a staple that I put on Fridays, and I sprinkle it throughout the week with this show as well. We'll do more of them throughout the week. But I do also my grind talk, and that's usually on Mondays or throughout the week. I just did this yesterday. Make sure you check that video out about Stuart Scott, but also just check out that documentary. Very, very good documentary about him. If you were in the 90s and 2000s and the mid 2000s, you know this man very well. One of the best to ever do it on the microphone, broadcasting, journalism. Just a great, great guy. Still, even that documentary got me very motivated to do even better. He's a very, very strong individual, motivated, and is very inspiring. So go check that out. Stuart Scott, rest in peace. And that's all I got for the day. Again, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Peace.